Alrighty, so the big question is, do we trust the pump? Very big question that we're currently asking ourselves. We had a nice little push from Bitcoin, ultimately on the short time frame, topping out at around about $17,000 100. And we made the decision a few days back to Bitcoin. Start getting out of some altcoins, get into Bitcoin. Let's wait to see what the market does. And after that, we can make the decision. And it was an actual really good decision because ultimately what you had throughout the time is you did have the dominance start to spike up, starting to show the momentum. And remember how this works, guys, is even though we've been through the dump, if you're ever restarting a cycle, it starts off with Bitcoin. So the power of understanding of staying in the market, but jumping to the safer asset. Firstly, you're not getting out the market in case the market does pump at any points, which we're starting to see a little bit of momentum to the upside currently. And then we can always make the decision of diversifying back into the actual altcoins. So the big question is we have the stock market sort of making its way down, but ultimately still holding support. And if we bounce in this area, we could still have another push from the stock market within this year. Ultimately, we are 9% away from all-time high. And maybe we still get a higher high from the stock market. We're starting to see the Dixie still looking weak as we speak. So ultimately, the question is, do we trust this pump? We have the 4-hour RSI sitting at the top. There will be some sort of retest. And do we go damn crazy if the 4-hour gets to the bottom, we hold support? Is it time for some massive gains in the crypto market again? We are sitting with the total 3 near, not a higher high just yet. But if we do have a higher high, the next target's pretty big. So guys, the big question is the damage done? Are we going to have a little bit of momentum first? Is the temporary bottom in? Is the bottom in? Guys, massive show. No more wasting time. Change. Smash the button.
Click, click. Have you heard the news? What? With his finger on the pulse, it's like Sheldon knew. Click, click. When the sniper shoots, we got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. So enter the sniper, click, click, click. Time to be dedicated, sniper mode is activated. Explosions in the market are in target, and Sheldon demonstrates. Mirror, mirror on the wall, Master Sheldon tell us all. We got Sheldon on the chart, so we never lose. Enter the sniper, sharpshooter advisor. Enter the sniper, he marks the charts right. Enter the sniper, he's calling the cycles. Enter the sniper, click, click. Enter the sniper.
Yo, Banter fam, what's happening? Hope you're all having a great day. If you're brand new, smash the subscribe button. If you're part of the family, smash the like button. What's up, guys? How we feeling? Breakout, fake out, bullish, bearish? Pop in the comments, guys. Let's have a look. What are we feeling? Is the bottom in? Is it a fake out? Are we about to get destroyed out of nowhere? Like, how are we feeling, guys? Pop in the comments. Pop in the comments. Relief rally. Okay. What else? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? How are we feeling? I want to see what you guys are thinking out there. Remember, what we got to do right now is we've been through war. We've been through absolute chaos throughout the last year. And we got to trade this day by day. It's sort of how it works at these stages of finding out where is the exact bottom, what's happening. Pump before the dump, about to get wrecked. You see the feelings, guys. You see how the different people bull trap, fake pump. People are not believing the pump. Craig, from your experience, when you have a lot of people, have you seen it many times where people don't believe the pump? Yeah. Is usually when the pump happens. Cheat street. The Wall Street cheat sheet. That feeling where it's not going to happen. It's that regret feeling, and it happens. It's quite crazy, guys. I don't know what the F to do. I hope you took the understanding of flipping to Bitcoin. I hope you did that. Powerful but simple little decision that you could use many times throughout the cycles of even bull runs, bear runs, all these different things, is switching to Bitcoin throughout these times. Jump to the safe asset. The market pumps from that. I think the big question is, though, is we are getting, guys, if you are new and you want to open any accounts, use our exchange links below. We have all the trading competitions. Guys, go below in the description. You'll find all the alpha. We have our Discord groups, VIP groups. We have Sniper School. Sniper School. Oh, yeah. There we go. In the description. All of the information you need if you want to get started with the journey. It's all there for you guys. And we had Sniper School, guys. I've never been so passionate and so in love. We are only just getting bigger with Sniper School, which is incredible. We had the live event. We had 40% more people in the second session. So Sniper School is finally here. It's passionate. It is incredible, guys. And we are looking. There's a video dropping this weekend on Saturday. And that's how you get into the next cohort. The next cohort's happening in January. We're actually going to show you the whole live event. It's going to be incredible. You're going to be able to watch what Sniper School is when we do the live events. You're really going to enjoy it. And remember, guys, throughout these shows, it's great me giving calls of where the market goes. But we have different people. Some people are new. Some people are experienced. Like the school just brings it all together. And it just teaches you so much, guys. So look out for that. It's incredible. So how are we feeling? Bull trap, liquidity grab. I'm bad at trading. Need more school. Amazing. Oversold on the 4 hour. Exactly. So let's jump into the charts. I see I'm flashing a little bit. Am I not flashing on the other things? Okay, great. So it only flashes here on StreamYard. So guys, what we do have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through Bitcoin quick. I'm going to go through 1 or 2 trades that I think are pretty good. I actually been doing pretty well with my personal accounts this week. I had 2 shorts on BNB. I took 2 shorts and it actually went pretty good. So just reminding you that we're in a cool range. You know, if you take a small part of your portfolio and you play around, there is some money to be made. The market's moving. You know, the range is happening. And even though you're waiting for the higher time frame to give the direction, you know, of where we're going, you can still trade short time frame and make pretty good gains throughout those times. So always be aware of that some parts, you know, I taught it in Sniper School. You have different businesses, right? And what I taught them is you basically got to assign each business with a time frame. So for example, if you are currently a higher time frame person that only wants to trade 2-3 times a month, you know, your indicator is the daily, and that one's telling you, just wait, you know, don't buy it just yet on that part of the portfolio. But then you have another portfolio which makes you some cash, or like, you know, a little cash portfolio, and that runs on the 4 hours or the 8 hours or these sort of things. And these could be telling you something different. Now they're saying overextended, but 2 days ago they were saying you buy. You know what I mean? On the short time frame. So what I teach you in Sniper School is you actually arrange a time frame with the specific part of your portfolio, or I like to call it a business. And some parts will be active now and some will be active later. And that's the true skill of learning throughout these times, is when do I shift into these different parts and what do I assign them to and what are the tools that I use? Extremely powerful, guys. So let's have a look at Bitcoin. Right now on the 4 hour shorter time frame, we do have a higher high. Starting to show a little bit of progress, which is good. We'll zoom out now and see where we are there. But right now, higher high over there. That's fantastic. We're not going to chase within this pump. I think the big question is, when do we buy altcoins? When do we get back into altcoins? Because we've been getting into Bitcoin now, protecting ourselves, and we're still sitting with cash, maybe for capitulation. You know, we are still not safe until Bitcoin's back above 18, 20 to say that capitulation can't still happen. And the possibility of a $14,000 can still happen at any point, especially if this chart decides to tank. I don't know. I don't know if the crypto market is following the stock market, but I do still think that the stock market could still have that, you know, 12% or that 10% drop. And it'll be quite interesting to see how the crypto market reacts, because when the stock market was going up a few weeks ago, the crypto market was coming down. Maybe we have the next, the sort of shift, because I think we have decoupled. Let's see if it continues that ride. But the way it works now and the way you trade now is you have the 4 hour at the top, you have the 8 hour at the top. And then what you have, so I'll show you the 8 hours at the top. And then what you have is you have the 12 hour getting to the top again. And then you have the daily at the top, still to make its way down. So what this does and how you basically read this is to understand that we are starting to make a little bit of progress, yes. But ultimately, what we are waiting for is to see where we top up on this little run. We then make our way back down. But us making our way back down will reset the 4 hour, 8 hour, 12 hour RSIs again. And then it will give the opportunity of the daily to reset. Now, if you had to look at the daily, how long can it usually take for the daily to reset? And that's around 4 days, 4 to 5 days. So ultimately, if Bitcoin, this is what we're looking at, guys, to see what this would be the bullish scenario of where we go next, is if we can have Bitcoin make its way, let's say go slightly higher now. I'll go through the levels because we did hit this little resistance point over here. But Bitcoin ultimately makes its way down throughout the weekend and all of that. And by Monday, We're sitting with Bitcoin basically above 16,400. Now we have the 4-hour reset. We have because the 4-hour probably make its way up and down a few times throughout that time. We have the 8-hour reset. We'll have the 12-hour reset. And we have the daily reset. And we hold this breakout. For me, it's now time that we can start dipping our toes back into some altcoins. But ultimately, Bitcoin is then going to rage and it's going to start making its way to the higher areas. Now, the big question is we still have the offload zone. And for me, this is sort of, these are little short squeezes that are happening. For me, the real short squeeze happens if we crack through these resistances over here. So sort of the way I'm painting the picture now is if you see on the 12-hour, you're going to use your 50 moving average. And you're basically using this as resistance right now. You can see it's exactly where we hitting it right now as resistance. And it's sort of exactly where we stopped. Okay. But the way I'm looking at it now is we actually get slight rejection here. We make our way down and we shoot up into this area. What then is going to happen is we're going to have a beautiful trend that's giving us the directional, the momentum move to the upside. Anytime we drop that, where is the zone where we finally know we're bullish again? And the way you do that is a few tools. The first one you're doing is the Fibonacci. Okay, you take it from top to bottom, and ultimately it's showing you the 19K is the critical level for us to get through. Okay, and that makes sense because we have a whole bunch of these resistance points over here. And if we actually have a look at the daily, you can see more or less the 50 moving average is basically 18.5. So we know 18.5 to 19K is sort of the area that could invalidate all of the FTX crash and all of the hurt that's been done throughout those times. And that could possibly be the road back into the 20Ks. And maybe then, I think if we do break those levels, there's a possibility that we don't make new lower lows again. And ultimately, we're going to make a relief rally first to the upside. Okay, let's go back into that over there. Now, what I'm thinking and what I'm seeing is a lot of indicators are basically flashing this area. And for me, a lot of the shorts are still placed between the 18 to the 19K zone. That's where they want rejection. Now, if we don't crack through on this next push up, guys, I want to explain to you the way patterns work. And the way this works is this was an impulse. And if you look at two different ways of patterns or sort of momentum moves, is the market either moves in this simple 5-step strong move to the upside. And then what it has is it has a correction. Now, a correction, so it's usually 5 steps up, and then it's A, B, C, down. Okay? And then from that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And basically, you'll see this many times within the market. Now, the reason why that's important is because you want to understand what sort of wave this is. Now, if this was, let's say, a BART, upside down BART, the bullish scenario would look like this. From here, we would make a strong push here. We would move, strong push here. We would move and strong push here. That is the strong wave. That is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the upside. That's the bullish scenario. Okay. Then what you have is the correction. Now the correction is to the downside and it's like this. A, B. So the way you look at the B is the 618. If we go to the 618 and we don't crack through that, this can be a correction. And what that's warning you about is there can be another leg. We still know the 14K and we know the 12K is still very important. So ultimately, we want to see if we get this move up here. It's important to know this, guys, because you're going to have to make a credit. If Bitcoin does go to 19K by next week, what are you doing? Where are the critical levels on when you know you must hold? And if you know, let's say Bitcoin's at 19K and you know we're going to 14K after this, you can actually make a serious decision and you can really look after yourself. So the critical stage of us getting past 618 and getting past the 50 daily moving average and getting past all these areas is very important, because if you don't know that, and by the time, and the way you do this, guys, is the daily's on its way down, the RSIs, and the 4-hour, 8-hour, these are getting to the top now. But if we get to the areas of 618 and you have all of these RSIs overtapped, overbought, they're all sitting at the top. They're all sitting at high areas. And the 12-hour and the daily, and we're not cracking through here, is going to give you the big signal that another leg is coming down. Maybe it does this. For example, maybe it's a higher low. From here, higher low, and then we start to make our way up. Either way, that is a huge drop. That's a big drop. That's a 15, 20% down in Bitcoin, and ultimately a lot more for the altcoins. So what you need to start learning about the skill of trading and the skill of doing this market is preparing for when it gets there. What do you do? Have you asked yourself the question, if Bitcoin goes to 19K by next week, what are you doing? Do you know what you're going to do? Do you know the critical levels? Do you know when to make the decision? That's why it's important to be here every day and to read the shows, because it gives you the indication of where are the critical areas, so that when it gets there, you are not surprised and you know what to do. You've already planned the decision of what's going to happen. So if we don't get past 618, for me, that's still that next little leg down. Now, what still indicates that? It still indicates for us that on the weekly and on the higher time frame views, we still bounced in an odd area. We never bounced on this support. We never bounced on these ones either. So on a higher time frame, it could make sense that there's another possible. Why would we bounce here and not on a critical area? And we still have that question. Maybe this is a relief. Get everyone trapped again, make them feel like it's bull run again, bull season again, altcoin season, and then destroy them. Or do we get the damage done now, and then we get our road to recovery and eventually get Bitcoin back to all-time highs? Guys, you got to paint yourself the different image and the different pictures of when things get there. What do you plan to next? Let's get this back up over there. There we go. So I'm marking this now, $19,000 to $19,500. If the bullish scenario plays out, that's my next target. It's basically Bitcoin breaking here. Maybe it goes a little bit higher. It doesn't matter. But for me, a test is coming at 16.5. I have my RSI sitting at the top. If my 4-hour, 8-hour, and 12-hour get to the bottom and we're holding 16.5, I'm diversifying again. I'm getting slightly into more altcoins. I'm deploying my USDT into the market. Okay. And the reason being as well, you look at USDT. USDT is a chart. When you're in dollars and you're in the thing, like, it's a chart. So why aren't you charting your dollars? And here's it here. USDT dominance strength. We spoke about a possible bull flag. This looks like it's dropping it to the downside. So what it's indicating here is it's basically indicating that another small move down over here. So Bitcoin slightly a little bit higher. This is what the USDT chart's showing. That Bitcoin, the top that it's made now, it's going to go a little bit higher than where it went. Then we're going to have a pullback in Bitcoin, right? Go to 16.5. And what that means is this will go down here, a little bit more up in Bitcoin. Then this will come up and test. This will be the pullback to 16.5. And then we make our big leg down. And this would be the move that gets us to the 19K. So you want to chart your dollars. Very important, very important. Now, why did I say that? Let me actually show you this quickly, because it does make a lot of sense. You want to know, especially higher time frame. Sorry, guys, I am extremely excited today. Lots going on, but really excited. But I want to show you something. This is the USDT dominance chart. It's basically the strength of the dollar in the crypto market. And you see this chart's been doing this. If you had to look at this as a normal token, what would you say? What would you say, guys? Through all of your experience, through our trading, what would you say? It looks like a Shibu chart. It looks like a shitcoin chart. Would you buy this chart after all of your experience? Would you buy this chart? It's a big question. No, you wouldn't, because this thing's been running straight up. Then you take that and you look at it to this chart. You basically want to know the big difference of risk to reward, right? Then you want to take this chart. Okay, there's the Bitcoin chart. So you got this chart, then you got this chart. Now you're asking yourself the question, should I be buying Bitcoin in these areas? Should I be loading up more? Even if there's more downside, or should I hold this coin? Should I hold the coin that hasn't stopped rallying? The coin that's been ripping through for the last few weeks, up and up and up and up. Are we going to do the same mistakes? This is buying Bitcoin at 60 or 50K. That's what it is. You got to look at USDT as a coin. And that's what this coin's been doing. And then you have this coin. Oh, the big daddy. Look at that. Guys, switch it around. So understand where we're at right now. And this is why a huge bounce will happen at some point in these areas. Maybe there's a lower 14, but ultimately look at it like that. It's a risk to go into USDT. So you're looking on smaller time frames now, the biggest opportunity of where can I offload my USDT and what's the best place to put it. And that's why you've painted the picture of what you need to happen. So the 4-hour trades, the RSIs, the 4-hour, 8-hour, and 12-hour, if we hold 16.5, get out of the damn USDT and get back into the market. After that, you have a goal. You have a roadmap of where we go next. 19K is my target. If we do not break 19K and my daily RSI is at the top and my 12-hour RSI is at the top, and we don't get through that, I'm getting back into that USDT because now that one's pulled back. That chart. So you've set yourself the main ultimate way of how you want to see this play out, and you know the critical levels. If it breaks 19K, the next target is back to 21,000. Now it's worth holding. The big thing though, guys, is why I was saying this chart over here. I actually said it now against USDT. I'm talking crap. If Bitcoin goes to 19,000 and those RSIs are at the top, I get out of my altcoins and I get them into Bitcoin. Very simple. Small amounts I can get into USDT, that's fine. But I'm just asking the question now that when Bitcoin pulls back and we hold $19,500, $16,500 on that short time frame that I just showed you guys, this for me is the indication to diversify back into altcoins. When we get there, I'm going back into Bitcoin. When we get here and we break trend, I get back into altcoins. I know what I'm accumulating. I know what I'm building at this time. It is stupid for me to trade into dollars right now because I have one chart that's going like this and I have one chart that's going like this. So I don't even care about the dollars anymore. I want to know, when do I go into Bitcoin? When do I go into altcoins? When do I go into Bitcoin? When do I go into altcoins? Because I know what I'm accumulating here. I'm stupid if I'm focusing on the damn USDT on a chart that is doing this straight to the upside. So for me, whenever the market's looking shitty or take profit points, I'm getting into Bitcoin. Whenever the market's looking strong, I'm getting into altcoins. And you have to stick throughout this mentality while we are still in this phase until ultimately we break out to the next levels. Now, the big ones, guys, I have a few possible short-term trades here for you guys. Ones to focus on. Apparently, there's a lot happening with BitBoy and Solana and these sort of things. I still think Solana is going to be one of your biggest trades either this year or within early next year. I still think it's going to be a big money gain. Will we know where Solana goes in the future? We'll see. But for me, I can make a lot of money on it. So keep eyes on here that the market is showing another small little push to the upside. So we have a few coins breaking trends. 4-hour trend here. You buy here. You put your stop loss under this low over here. And ultimately, you take profits here. It's a 10% trade for you, or we break that and all of a sudden Solana goes to the higher band, which is up here in these areas, and that's obviously a 20-25% trade for you. Okay, you need to now go look at the tokens and be like, if Bitcoin comes and retests, what tokens am I getting into? And then when we get to Bitcoin back at 19K, which altcoins am I selling back into Bitcoin? You can't trust any altcoin right now. I love them all, but I don't trust them. I don't trust any altcoin right now. I still trust Bitcoin. That's majority at right now. And that is the main one. I looked yesterday. I remember one of my portfolios, and it was actually a big wake-up call for me, was I looked at, I think I had $70,000 or $75,000 in one of my exchanges yesterday. And I saw that it was 4.5 Bitcoin. Okay. And I was like, what? I remember that, I think it was a year and a half ago. I remember that was worth $230,000. Because that's what I had before I joined Banter. Remember, I managed to trade up towards those areas before I was trading to that times. And I was like, what? Like 70K now is worth, like, I want Bitcoin. Like, we want Bitcoin. That's the ultimate one. Because when it grows, like, that's your wealth. That's your main gains. So keep eye on Solana, guys. I still think maybe possibility of the 8 or the $6 sort of area. That's why I'd be patient. I would buy Solana maybe on a short-term trade now, but I'm not interested in right now. I'm interested on when Bitcoin comes back and tests here. And if we test there and have the reset of the RSIs, I'm getting into those altcoins. I definitely am. I'm getting into BNB. I'm getting into Solana. I'm getting into Theta. I'm getting into Matic. I'm getting into Chainlink. I'm getting into Fantom, guys. Right now, Fantom's got a little bit more growth. Turn it into Bitcoin. Don't get out of the market, but turn it into Bitcoin. Like, you've just made incredible gains against Bitcoin. Take profits into Bitcoin. Why? Because it's coming to a heavy resistance again. And ultimately, you remember what I spoke about ABC, right? A, B, C. That's still the possibility right now. Get this bad boy into Bitcoin right now. When Bitcoin retests and this comes back down, use your 50 moving average in these areas, then you can get back from your Bitcoin back into Fantom. But right now, it's a no-brainer to take your profits from Fantom and get into Bitcoin. Same with Doge. Let's actually have a look at Doge. Okay, now do your tools again. Let me clear the chart. Take this. Amazing. Okay, so my critical stage here is 12 cents. So it's still possible more growth in Doge, but ultimately, until we are past this level, it's a correction. It's 1, 2, 3. Very simple, which means maybe it does this, right? But it means when we get here, turn into Bitcoin. Once we are safe, you get back in. Fantastic. Amazing. Guys, focus on Bitcoin. Focus on the chart. That's this. Not the charts. That's this. Incredibly important throughout those through the times to understand. I saw we had a near pump as well. This is great, guys. Near's one you buy on the pullback. Definitely. If Bitcoin holds those levels and near is sitting around 1.65, you get out of your Bitcoin into near. So remember, guys, 4-hour, 8-hour, 12-hour, and daily. If those RSIs are reset and Bitcoin holds 16.5 on the next pullback, you're not cared about the pump now. You want to know, when do I get back into the altcoins? When is it safe to get back into them? Bitcoin holds those levels and the RSIs have reset. Near is a huge one. Chainlink is a huge one. These are ones that are going to make you a shit ton of Bitcoin on the next push up. And you can see the ones that are showing tremendous strength now. We have volume starting to come in, which is incredible, which is good. Because ultimately we had this trend. Remember to use trend lines on volume. Important, guys. It shows you a breakout. It shows you when you're seeing more volume than what you've seen before. So use those trend lines. But ultimately, this does this, and then straight up to these areas over there. Boom. You know, this is good gains, and you're building your actual Bitcoin account. So we'll go through the rest, guys. I do want to say that I have started accumulating more small caps again, and I bought more Paribus, more PBS, started breaking trend. This one for me, only 0.5% of my portfolio. PBS, Scallop, Nakamoto, those three I've bought again, the smaller caps. I've been dollar costing and getting a little bit more of those. Only 3 of them, because these are, remember what I was saying Nakamoto's a 50 to 100x for me in the next bull market, and the other 2 are probably 50x's. So I'm starting to just accumulate a little bit of them with some profits on smaller caps, because I've noticed that the smaller caps aren't, the only one is Paribus that's really been coming down a little bit when the market's been coming down, but the small caps have been holding. If you look through the last few, well, like they've been holding and not really falling with. So for me, small caps are getting to a point where they've really been sucked so much and hurt. This is accumulation for me. Look how many bottoms here, bro. Bottom. So I'm accumulating whenever we do hit the bottom cycles. And yes, guys, I'll be looking at tomorrow, focusing on more of the altcoins. DOT as well. If DOT holds these areas and Bitcoin's pulled back, just focus on Bitcoin right now. We should all be in a lot of Bitcoin. If Bitcoin holds those levels, we diversify. We diversify in the ones that are looking strong, the ones that are breaking trend, and we basically move from there. So guys, have a fantastic day. Much love to you all. Let's keep fighting. I want to say one last thing. USDT chart, Bitcoin chart. This is how you separate the poor from the rich. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on tomorrow's show. Much love.
We're going to get food, all right?
Yeah.
And then what are your plans this afternoon? I know we're meeting at 3. I'm trying to get hold of Jordan.